I'm Ali, I'm from London, and I once woke up in a Thai tattoo parlour with no memory and 7 tattoos.
Yes! Tom Mackey, I'm a doctor in Newcastle upon Tyne. Interesting fact, I was on a house renovation project programme with Kirsty and Phil.
Oh, very good. I like Kirsty, she's nice.
Good morning, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to day 3 of this guy, Triple Brutal James, takes on the Deca. Here we go. Day 3, James. Ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. I don't feel too bad this morning. I didn't get the world. I've got obviously because we're sponsored by Garmin, aren't we? Yeah. When you're doing one of these, never ever look at your sleep data or body battery. Yeah. It's not helpful. But it is very clever metric. Yeah. But I just assume that it must be wrong. Yeah.
You can't control it, and it's not going to change anything you're doing. But it's going to be interesting for us to look back on. So we're collecting it, but as you're saying, don't really look at it, don't really take too much into account at the minute. Today is going to be a fair bit cooler, which I'm actually really excited about. Firstly, for my own welfare, but secondly, I think you're going to find it a bit easier to hydrate on the bike and the run because you're not going to be sweating as much.
Well, I think the thing is, it was impacting what I was eating because I was so full of fluid. Yeah. But I feel good go. Yeah. Good. The run went really well because it wasn't too stressful.
Good.
So we're just hoping to repeat it, aren't we?
Yeah, and with the temperature changing slightly, we have to think like it's going to be quite cold. So I've got a flask of warm water to put down James's wetsuit before the swim, just to save in that shock and getting cold initially. And if
the energy into it, in that cold
and once you've got in, we'll go and refill this. So if you feel cold, you know to stop and get out, and we can tip some down you, because as your body's deteriorating, sure, on a normal day you're going for a swim in this water.
Deteriorating? Have you seen it?
Okay, me then. On a normal day you might not feel the cold in the water, but when you get it day after day, and it's been hard work, you're going to feel it a bit more. We're actually early for the briefing today, James. You're not going to get told off today. And this is the little roll call, isn't it? Like 11 started every day. You're looking to see if there's 11 still here, which there was yesterday.
I hope so. I hope they're all doing really well.
Yeah, good. So let's get stuck in.
Morning, are you okay?
Happy as very, mate.
Good. You're in your element, aren't you?
Oh, you're coming there, I am.
That dinner yesterday were a belter as well.
Is that alright?
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Yeah. Just what the doctor ordered.
See what I can rustle up today then.
Yeah.
Did Matt talk to you about your navigational skills?
What was it? Bad.
You think you're wasting a bit of distance, pulling to the right on this leg from here to the next point.
On this first leg?
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe do an extra sight or...
Yeah, okay.
He also said some really nice things about your stroke that I don't remember.
Well done, you're an Iron Man.
You were technical.
Yeah.
Technically nice. Something about your recovery. And elbows, lovely elbows.
I have got a lovely elbows.
And they recover nicely.
It's not red hot.
I'm going to check it like a little,
I use the tap hot water and I put about an inch of kettle water in it.
It's going to feel like.
I think that's fine.
Such a dad, isn't he? Testing it on the back of his wrist.
Yeah. It's going to feel like, but it's not going to burn you.
Lovely.
Look up a bit more.
Yeah, that's good.
James got me in the
See you later.
Have a swim.
Five's younger brother and
2, 1, go! Well done, guys!
Okay, so day 3, it feels like he's really getting into it now. I don't think we talked about it earlier. He got me up at about 2:30. I slept in his awning last night with him in his van, and he went to the toilet quite urgently, and he takes one of us to the toilet with him in case he has any problems in the night. He was okay, but that was a bit of a rude awakening. When he gets up, he reels a list of things off that he's thought about in the night. So a few of those things today were he'd like his bedding airing during the day because he's sweating quite a lot in the night. He said, I quite fancy some crisps on the bike. My scale batteries have run out. What's this? I might fancy some soup. I don't really want a takeaway tonight or for the rest of the thing because I don't think I'm looking forward to it, and I don't think that I can actually eat it when I get it, so sort yourselves out and I'll have something else for tea. And a few little things like that. And when he's saying those things, he knows he's just reeling it off and I'm just making a note. I'm not going to do all of that, but between Matt and myself and Harvey and Jen and whoever else comes and things, we just need to make sure these things are done. He had some Gaviscon for his bit of acid reflux he thinks he's had. He said buckets when he gets out of the swim. You can tell that like, the sponges perhaps haven't been washed, like he doesn't feel like fresh and clean water. You want fresh, clean water on your face. Just little things like that are really helpful for us to be able to do for him, and it does create quite a bit of work. So I think I perhaps thought this trip would be a bit of like a training camp, bit of a fun trip. Actually, it is proper graft. That's absolutely fine. I want James to do the best as he can, but like there's, you know, washing up to do, his clothes to sort out, our own tidying, our own cooking, our own like keeping on top of things tidy. You know, a few guys living together, it's not always the most tidy thing, so difficult, but come on, let's get stuck in. So this is the first time that Matt has seen James get out of the water. Every other day he's been tucked in bed, on you, Matt?
Frantically trying to get transition ready.
Yeah, Matt's been in the transition 1 team, whereas today Matt's doing both jobs. So
yeah, so Dan can hold a camera.
Yeah, which is
not sure how that works.
What were you saying James likes for motivation, Matt?
Seeing people succeed, that sort of thing. Yeah.
What does he
just thrives off other people's happiness.
The opposite would be more truthful.
Does like to be told that everyone else looks shocking. Yeah. I've seen that perk him up before.
Good. Well done, James. Good swim.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to sit on that.
I just need to go to the back of the van and have some private time with Matt.
Okay.
1 gel in the swim rather than 2.
Yep. Right, okay.
Because I set off a bit quick and I was sick. Not just sick in my mouth, you know, a bit more than that, but no breakfast came up. It was just the liquids I'd had on top of my breakfast.
Okay.
So I thought, well, I'll not risk putting anything else.
Yeah. Right.
But my stomach is definitely not behaving normally.
Okay.
But I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
So
that's a good sign.
We got some sandwiches on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've just seen that James has gone out on the bike this morning. Hasn't gone entirely to plan for him. He's having a little bit of stomach issues. However, who better to help us with stomach issues than Total Endurance Nutrition's other team? Would you like to say hello, introduce yourselves, tell us what you do and what you're doing here?
Yeah, hi.
What are you doing here?
I'm Jen. I'm a postdoctoral research fellow at Liverpool John Moores and work with Total Endurance Nutrition.
Yeah, I'm Harvey. Also at Liverpool John Moores doing postgraduate research in nutrition, so putting it into practice now.
Yeah, so some of you might recognise Jen from the lab testing a couple of weeks ago. You've already seen James suffer once, so you're going to see him suffer some more now. And Harvey, you weren't there, but we're genuinely so stoked to have these guys on board. So you're going to be a happy pair of hands today and also provide that guidance nutrition-wise. So James is just coming off the swim and he said that he's been sick in the swim, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And that he wants some real food and his guts aren't behaving as expected to, and he's had to have an emergency toilet stop after the swim. That's some problems, isn't it? How are we going to sort of try and tackle that, do you think?
Well, it's just staying on top of it.
Okay.
Being a face of reassurance, ensuring that we get kind of hydrated is probably the main kind of aim there. And then, like he says, he wants real food, so trying to do that appropriately, kind of meeting our energy demands, but also satisfying his kind of needs as well. So we've got a couple of ideas, hopefully, that he kind of keeps it down him, and then I guess we'll reassess from that.
Good, yeah, so we've got somebody bringing some sandwiches, we've got Jen had an idea to get some bread, to get some toast. Because we're going to be seeing him every 20 to 25 minutes, there's a lot of opportunity to manage that, so it's not like, okay, do this and see you in 3 hours, so this is going to develop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good, I'm very reassured that you guys are here. Great, see more of you later on today.
What do you fancy?
Yeah, I definitely want some actual real food, you know, like malt loaves.
I'm thinking of getting you some toast.
Yeah, perfect. Bacon sandwich.
We've both sandwiches.
We've got sandwiches coming in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
When caps open, we'll get you bacon sandwich.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, brown sauce.
Brown sauce.
If you can do the bacon, well done.
Yeah. Have you got enough in there?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm actually hungry for food.
That's really good. Awesome.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer. I want some.
You want some?
Okay, so I've just been away for the last 90 minutes or so. Matt and team, how has the morning been? So was it now 10:30?
It is.
Yeah, so he's been on the bike for maybe 3 hours or so. How's it been?
Alright, in terms of pace, he's doing alright. He's a bit off yesterday, but he's just he's suffering a bit. He's suffering a bit with fueling because he had that. I don't know if you already covered it. Yeah. He had that issue on the swim this morning. Lost a bit of what he'd tried to get down, so he's just got a bit behind. But these two professional nutritionists that we've got on site are bringing him around basically.
What's been going on for them? What are you trying to ram down, isn't it?
Well, we've offered some nice plantains, basically whatever he fancies, trying to just change it up each time, so he's looking at different food.
Is he being quite amenable? Is he agreeing what you're trying to do, or is he saying no to anything?
Seems quite into it.
Yeah, I mean he's swerving a few of the things, but that's kind of why we're giving the options. He's kind of just asked then, like, will I make up what I've lost? I think he will, and I think it's just, I think he's pretty on board with what we're doing. So it's
good.
His mood's low though, which is very unlike James, isn't it? You can tell that he's a bit behind on his nutrition when he gets a bit sad really by James's standards. I mean, he just said as he come round, he said, I think we're in the middle of weathering our first storm here. Right. But I think he took a lot of consolation from what the experts are telling him. You know, it's going to catch up. We told him we're going to get him off the bike at the halfway point in 3 laps, sit him down and make him eat something.
Okay, good. I think
also going to change bikes.
Okay. I think we've shared a lot of him being really positive up to yet, and people have said, oh, it's great to seem so positive. There is actually this flip side, isn't there? So we'll perhaps document that a little bit as well. Good work, team. Okay, so I don't know how much of that I caught on camera. James came in, he's 2 laps away from halfway. We planned to stop him at halfways, and the crew planned to stop him for a proper food break. He'd come in to swap bikes, and I said to him, 2 laps and stop for a food break, and he said, no, F stopping, I'm carrying on. And he said, I feel like I've weathered a mini storm and had a little crisis. And I said, we're good at crisis, aren't we, James? I said, yes. So if when I came back up here, he'd had a bit of a low point. Now it seems like he's on the way up, he's eating and drinking. So do you know what, we're not going to make him stop. We were only going to make him stop if he was going to continue to not take on much fluid and food. Like, we can't just let him keep going out there burning through his reserves, because it's just going to crash down at some point. So it's good to see him coming out the other side of that little hole, but this is day 3. This is a 10-day event. I am trying to make this really, really positive, especially around James. However, statistically, 48% of people who start a Deca finish it. So it's a tough event. We're really conscious of being positive around him. Like this morning, for example, it's a lot cooler today. It's about 18 degrees. Instead of saying, oh, James, it might be quite cold in the water today, it's, you would be really hydrated on the bike because it's not very hot. You're going to be smashing. You know, we'll put the positive spin on it to get in his mind. When he came out of the water this morning, he went straight away and said, I need to speak to Matt at the back of the van. He'd obviously been thinking about that for the whole swim. You spend a lot of time in your own head. So good work, James. It's going to be a roller coaster, and it's easy to make videos and this sort of stuff when he's like, yeah, I mean, how are you? When he's not like that, that's the reality. I think we're going to be at this the next few days. It's a bit more difficult, but he's got this. Come on.
Right, can you eat that for me?
Yeah.
And a banana.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm going to put some salty biscuits and this in your bento box. Is that right?
You saved me this today. I feel so much better.
I'm so glad.
Phenomenal, mate.
Pace is great. So, you're on top of fueling. Good.
This thing looks clever.
Do you want this in the bento box?
No.
Might be a bit sticky. We'll leave it out. There's some biscuits and stuff in there.
Get your Percy Pigs as well.
Yeah.
On my mind all day.
I said he was in second place. All he said was, I want to get to bed. But I suppose that makes sense, because the quicker you do it every day, the earlier you get to bed.
You don't want to mess the run up, because obviously if it goes wrong, it takes forever.
But you know what, if we get you something sorted now and you look so much better, the run will be, you know.
Could you tell I went quiet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Steps.
I know it's a way off, but we've got your tea planned. We looked at what we ate last night, and we think pizza's an issue, particularly with fat.
Yeah.
So
there's some crunchy nut cornflakes.
Yeah.
I can imagine a bowl of cereal.
Fancy a bit of cereal.
You can imagine, not on the bike or anything, but you know, like tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We're just gonna go nice and clean, yummy but clean.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. And it'll be easy to, you know, minimal chewing is what I'm thinking.
No. You know the small amounts, it was that I think made the difference.
Yeah.
It made it so
much easier.
much
things up a little bit. Yeah.
And like the salad in that just made it...
yeah, we're going to go sandwich next if that's what you fancy.
I felt like the swim was a victory, even though it was a disaster. But then, and so I was sort of buzzing when I got out. But
I made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've been for a swim. I was telling everybody that my mate's been sick in it this morning.
That's nice.
Go for it. Nice one. Well done.
Okay, so I mentioned yesterday we're having a changing of the guards. Some support crew going, some support crew turning up. Clint has arrived today. Clint from EasyDisc. Many of you people may know him if you don't already. In fact, you probably do. Clint has supported James with this project, both with products and with his physical being here, so thank you very much for both, Clint. I wonder if you just talk us through what your products are, what the benefits are, and how you think it helps James this specific event.
Yeah, first of all, it's great being here, like supporting James. Doing 10 Ironmans in a row is just pretty obscene. I've done one, like all the way through. Well, I've done 4 of them, but just one is enough. But let alone doing 10 of them, it's just going to bust his balls, big style. But he looks like he's doing well. He's just come in from a few laps of the bike, but he's looking strong. So I reckon that he's going to do it.
So how have you helped James
so
out?
What I've done, he's got our easy disc on the back here. This is a solid plate that attaches to the back wheel. You've got fixing screws there, and then it's cable tied around the inside. So with this product, I've aero tunnel tested it at Silverstone.
I've seen it.
Also, real world life tested it with over 1,500 people now using the Easy Disc. On average, over an Ironman distance leg, 180k, you'd save it anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes. That's on proven data, so not only aero data, that's real life data from athletes' feedback. Also, what I introduced, this is one of my newer products which came out in April. I now have about 400 to 500 of these. These are aero chainring cover. So the idea again came about because if you look at the airflow over a bike, obviously it's catching within the chainring and it also catches on the arm. So I was fortunate enough for Dan to join me at Silverstone when we wind tunnel tested it, and your savings are anywhere from 3 to 5 watts on it, so it's quite a considerably massive gain if you think about spending 90 odd pounds on something like that and gaining 3 to 5 watts. On the rear disc it's anywhere from 10 to 15 watts. Again, for £165, that's a kind of massive gains without the cost of it. So we've got both of these on here. So what we're looking at, we're reducing his time on the bike today by about 6 minutes. We're doing that every day, over 10 days. That's quite a massive amount of time that he's saving, building it all together.
And obviously Clint's generosity has meant that he's given these products to James, that's excellent. But even if James was to buy them, he would have used the rear wheel that he's already got. He wouldn't have to have bought a disc wheel, so the cost saving is massive, isn't it?
Yeah, they attach to any wheel, so again you don't have to go and buy another wheel. And my argument also is it's not necessarily great to go and buy a cheap disc wheel. You're better off buying a higher quality wheel with a good hub and then attaching my disc cover to it, and then therefore it will spin a lot better because it has got a better quality hub on it.
Whilst we're on bike tech, James has also been supported by my partner NRG Chains, so he has a wax chain, a race wax chain on there.
I've got one of these beauties as well.
Good. And he's also got some ceramic bearing jockey wheels on there as well.
I've got these as well.
Wicked, look bling and also roll a little faster. And it is genuinely all those little gains that really make a difference when he's riding his bike for, what, 70 hours in total, something like that? So, or maybe more than that. So, thank you very much, Clint. We'll see some more of you today tomorrow.
Brilliant.
Also, if you want a disc wheel, is my code still live?
Yeah, it is, go
Ward
for it.
10. Check it out. 10% off. 10% or £10 off. Either way.
10% off.
Either way, it's a discount. If you fancy any more, slip in Clint's DMs, he'll do you a deal. See you later.
You got anything in that bento box? You got enough?
For the next time.
Yeah, okay, good. We'll fill it up when you come back. Good. Nice one.
Good, mate, well done.
Go well, mate. Thank you. Good stuff.
You two are worth your weight in gold.
Brilliant. Alright, is the bar right better now?
Yeah.
So I'm not exaggerating, Harvey and Jen today absolutely saved James. He was in a real pickle this morning, wasn't he? And he's really come round. I know there's a long way to go, but you certainly got him out of a hole. So we're just trying to get together what he's going to have on the run. He's just gone out on the run and he said, I don't want anything yet, I'm just going to get a lap under my belt. So we started running straight away. So we've got chicken curry, which is the official meal that the Deca give us. There's probably another 2 portions of that in that bowl. Harvey's just mixing up some carb mix. Now, he said earlier he's gone off of carb mix a bit, he doesn't like it. He's had a lot of the same flavours, so I've been and got 2 different tubs of different flavours that he's not had yet this trip. So hopefully he's gonna it's alright, it's not on camera, you just banged yourself on that fence. Hopefully he's gonna taste it and be a bit refreshed by it and eat and basically drink it. But if not, he's got electrolytes and stuff, so yeah, here we go, it's getting settled in. So guys, what do you think, what are you focusing on the first few laps of the run? What are you trying to get in him, get him to eat and drink?
Probably fluid.
Okay.
Just make sure he's staying hydrated.
Yeah.
And hopefully he responds well to the dinner today.
Yeah. Here he is.
Definitely the cinnamon. Cinnamon? Yeah, so plain bagels, it's definitely the cinnamon. I can't eat that until I've had a Galveston.
Yeah.
Right. James, right! He's tried to go straight on so many times here. We've actually repositioned ourselves so we can be on this junction because he keeps almost missing. He'd miss a whole lap if he didn't go up there and go across the timing that. What on earth?
But he came from that way.
Yeah, I know.
Good. I'll finish it on next lap.
How are you, mate?
Yes, I'm very well. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Good as can be.
Could have been a dark day today.
Yep.
They've dug me out right off.
They are supporting us like no other. Honestly, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Got a couple of different flavours of mixes, so hopefully it's a bit more refreshing.
Yeah, this is water.
Oh, okay. Good stuff. All right. You can take that with you.
Brilliant. Everybody's helping me so much.
Yeah, no, it's good. You're inspiring so many.
I hope so. Yeah, good. Yeah, don't do this live, but do something. But don't do this.
Yeah. Are you carrying that with you? Good afternoon, Paul. Do you on the support crew this afternoon? Good to see you.
Good afternoon. Yes, I am.
You've just ran a lap with James, and what's he been saying? How do you think he's doing?
He says he's doing okay. He said it's really hard work having to concentrate all the time. So on the bike you're absolutely 100% wide all the time, so you're not hitting a curb or somebody else. And even the same on the run, I was just round the corner there and there's loads of rocks, like, you know, you can go over your ankles so easily on one of those. But yeah, it's not, you know, and also that I'm okay, thanks for asking.
Yeah, no
you know, I did a whole lap. It's a good mile, 1.5 mile, 1.1 miles, sorry.
Like that, yeah.
You know, I was okay, I paced it in the middle, there's a little hill.
Do you want to get tucked into these carbs? You spoke to Jen and...
I've got an appointment with a nutritionist and scientist afterwards. They're going to analyse me and take it from there.
Good stuff. James is genuinely really grateful for the support, so people like Paul turning up and just doing a few laps, cheering him on, is really refreshing to him, so thanks for coming up, appreciate it.
No problem at all, it's great. Make sure you sponsor him.
Yes.
Already sponsored him.
Good shout.
You know if you haven't.
Yes, good shout.
Hey Dan, are you okay?
Yes, you?
What's it look like?
Good. You look good. There's people out there that look worse than you.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be interested for it, would you?
James,
I'm sorry?
your fans do hero worship.
We do, Dave.
I'm a fanboy of you.
Double decker world record holder Dave Clamp, and James absolutely loves him. So we haven't spoken much about splits and time and stuff, 'cause that's not the aim. The aim is to get this guy in bed for as long as possible every night, isn't it, really?
That's all that matters.
Yeah, so yesterday was 15 hours, which gave James 7 hours, and 9 hours in between finish and starting, which gave you a good like 6 or 7 hours-ish in bed. Tonight, you're on for a similar sort of time, so that's very, very good. There's lots of people behind you who've got less recovery than you. So James is on for, you're 3 hours into your run, you've done 20 miles. So we've got
4 hours into a run.
4 hours into a run, 20 miles. You've got about 8 and a bit miles to go. You've got 8 laps, which is 8.8 miles. We're thinking you're going to be done for about 9 o'clock again, which is absolutely spot on. Shower, tea, bed, good sleep.
Yeah.
Fun, tough now then.
Well, yeah, it's just hard, isn't it? You know, you're tired and but I mean the help. I mean that everybody knows, but today, really, it's got to be total endurance nutrition.
Yeah.
I'd have been in trouble.
Yeah. Good.
They dug me out of a right hole this morning. So.
Okay. People are asking about the course. What's the bike? What's the run course like?
Yeah. So the bike course is 8 mile loop with a little out and back on. It's okay. It's flat.
Yeah.
There can be a headwind on the nicest bit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we had today with no headwind.
Yeah.
The run course is trails. Basically flat, but you have to go up a little bank here and there, which feel like Mount Everest now.
Yeah, a bit twisty, a bit gravelly in places and stuff. So
yeah, classic broken stuff.
Wicked.
But I just it's hard to keep focus because it's so overwhelming. You could let so much into your head. Yeah. And I'm really reluctant to do that.
Yes.
Because it's not like you need to keep focus to do well. You need to keep focus to be able to keep going. You know, it hurts.
How are you breaking down when you're running, when you're walking? How are you mapping that out?
I'll just keep running until I can't.
Okay.
Which basically is pretty much continuous. I walk the whole lap halfway point, and I do a bit of walking just on the little turnaround while I'm eating. Yeah. But the rest, I don't know if you call it running. Okay. It's like
definitely is running. It's noticeably faster than some people walking.
Like ultra feet, bumble.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure your feet don't explode.
Good. All right. 8 laps to go. Let's do it. Okay, so I've just ran, as you've seen, I did 4 laps with James. I want to try and put some numbers on today's performance. I know I haven't talked about numbers much, that's for a reason. I don't really want to make it about that, but it is relevant, people are asking. So he swam 1:32, he biked 7:46, so that is for a 118-mile ride. And of course 7:46 is the total time, so all these times are the total time. And then he's been running for 24.2 miles, and his run time's 4 hours 51. When I'm running with him, when he's running about 11:45 minute miling, give or take 15 seconds a mile, and that's pretty good. And the whole total average for those 4 laps was 12:15 per mile. People say Ironman's a race of not slowing down. This is absolutely a race of not slowing down. He's made positions on people who are way ahead at the beginning of the run because he's just not slowing down. He's just settled into that pace and he's just ticking them off lap after lap. We're not saying much when I'm running with him. He's even saying like nothing, the odd word, but he said to me, it's good having you here, so I'm going to make the effort to try and stay with him on the next few laps. And then we've got to think about evening meal, getting him shower changed in bed and do it all again. But if he gets day 3 ticked off, not feeling absolutely terrible, it's a real good start. Okay, so James is just going on to his last lap. I mean, he's groaning, he's suffering, but he's just chugging through, he's just keeping going. Now, he has a meal, and his plan was to walk the last lap and eat the meal, but he said to me on that last lap, Matt, you're like this, we're not good enough to stop. We're not good enough to stop and eat, we need to keep going. So he's going to run like half of the last lap. I'm going to go out and meet him the opposite way so he can walk half the last lap. He asked me, is it going to make or break a difference if I run or walk the last lap? Like, he can run if he wants to. I said, no, there's no, like, you're not seconds apart from anybody, and even if you are, we're on day 3, it's not the day to be doing that. Of course, the racer inside me is thinking, yeah, run the last lap if you can, but I've seen what's happening to people towards the front. They're slowing down, they're stopping, they're having 10 minutes. We need to not be those people, so we're going to eat my last lap, we're going to walk half of it. So yeah, this is so inspiring, honestly so inspiring. Not to do the damn thing, but just the grit and determination this guy's displaying. That's James, not you.
I can't hear over all the awesome food I'm eating.
Oh. This one is definitely 100% down to total endurance nutrition. There is no way that I would have got through this without you and Harvey. Honestly, Jen.
You've put in all the work today.
I felt
you've done fantastic.
rough on the bike. So I really appreciate it.
No, you've done so well. Really, really good. You know, you've eaten everything that you've wanted and needed to eat. You're the one that's done all the cycling. So,
it just feels so in control, you know, when you're doing it, and that makes you want to eat it, you know?
Yeah. And we are, you know.
I know, well, I know,
So don't worry about it.
So you get the gist of how today's ended. James finished, and he was actually okay, but then within 30 seconds to a minute, he was shivering. He really wasn't in a great way. We've resolved it, got him in the shower, you know, he's washed off and stuff, he's got some food and drink inside him, but that was worrying. We need to be better immediately at the end of him finishing because he just seemed to crash. What a day. Thank you very much for all the support, the comments. I haven't had time to respond to many, but honestly, I read them, James. They make a massive difference. Thank you very much. To all those who donated, thank you very much. If you don't want to donate or you can't, you can still drop a comment on the Just Give In. Just use the hide amount or donate a penny or something. He reads it all, I read it all to him, and it really motivates him. So thank you very much. Day 3 of the Deca, done and dusted. Here's to day 4, which is going to start in, we're now 10 PM. 8 hours time, and that's good. That's about as good as we can hope for. We're going to have him asleep in another 10-15 minutes.